Welcome to another episode of Backed or Busted. I'm your host, Rob McCallum, aka Rob McZob, and this is the show where we constantly critique different campaigns that are going on in the crowdfunding world. If you need help with your project or you'd like me to highlight one that would be a good fit for our show, reach out to me at crowdfundingspectacular99@gmail.com. Today, we are looking at Western Legends on Kickstarter, so let's jump over there right now and take a look. Okay, so here we are on Kickstarter. Western Legends, as you can see by the top here, is a tabletop adventure of legendary proportions for 2 to 6 players in 90 minutes or less. I'm a huge fan of tabletops, and seeing that it's under 90 minutes, boy, that gets me excited almost right away. So you can see they've done very well. They're only looking for $60,000. They've raised $274,000, 3,200 backers, 13 days to go, all or nothing like everything. This is not a campaign that Kickstarter loves. This is not a staff pick, in other words, but they are doing incredibly well. So that just goes to show that you can do very well and, get over 4 times your goal and still not be a project that they love. This is the first created by Colossal Games. Let's jump into the video and see if we can learn a little bit more. All right, there we have the pitch video for Western Legends. Let's step through it again and see what we think. Okay, so it starts off kind of slow here. You obviously got the thematic music and the art. And I should stop it right here and say, the art is pretty important because it's going to be reflective of the visual experience of the game. I don't know too many tabletop campaigns that don't and try to include the visual style of their game in their video, and it is kind of that essential link for success. I think if you were going to advertise a different art style, like if this looked like, Max Fleischer or Looney Tunes or Animaniacs, but the game looked different, it would be a little correlation that's off. So if your art in your video is compelling, then the art in your game is probably compelling. That's what you want us to believe at the very least. And the way you manipulate that art with these fade-ins, dissolves, color to life, going from outline pencil sketch to colors, is really important because it allows us to connect with that art a little bit more. Continue watching this. So stuff like this, all those little ink dissolves and spreads, these sketches and as they fill in, that's pretty key. And they're setting the stage when the legend rises, reputation matters. We'll just step through it a little bit here. Really good cover art there for the game. I really like the board. It's a nice top-down, as they say, sandbox adventure. You can play on 2 different sides. You can be on the good guys or the bad guys, so basically an outlaw or the side of the marshal. They got all these different cards that affect the gameplay. The different things you can do. You can cash in at the local bank or rob it, which is nice. Doc will fix you up. So there's just a lot of options that they're basically showcasing what you can do, and this screen kind of showcases a lot of them. And then they show how everything is done through multi-use cards. So they're really trying to testify. To the depth of this game. And it seems like they have a lot going on here. There's a bunch of different ways to play, but still 90 minutes or less, which is something I really like. Okay, so let's go through the campaign. Red Falls, Dark Rock, 2 towns on opposite ends of the mesa, 2 towns in the middle of God's own nowhere. Step off the train and feel your boots hit the red dirt as you pound the dust from your coat. You only have iron on your hip and a few bucks to your name. But that doesn't mean folks should go underestimating you. The only question to answer now is how we make them remember your name. Okay, I got a little dramatic there, but I couldn't resist. So that's actually a nice little preamble. I'm always of the mindset shorter is always better. How can you make that kind of punch a little bit more? And then we talk about what it is. It's an open world sandbox adventure, 2 to 6 players, set in the American Wild West, by this individual, Hervé Lemaitre. Players assume the roles of historical figures of the era. Okay, so that's something that wasn't in the video. And you can earn their legendary status, in a variety of ways. So we're seeing this GIF here, so we can see Doc Holliday, Calamity Jane, Billy the Kid, Bass Reeves. That's interesting. That should have maybe been put in the blog or the video pitch here, because that affects how I feel about it right away. I don't know that I like that I have to be a historical character. On the other hand, I think it's kind of cool that that's an option. Here we go. Components and sundries. So we get the game board, we get the 12 characters, 48 goal cards, 13 fight cards. So these are basically broken down here, which is nice. The general store, that's kind of a cool little setup. Get gold nuggets, tokens, perspective dice, miniatures, removable players. So these are kind of cool. Sheriff is a work in progress by the looks of it. 6 bandits and 2 sculpts. And we'll just keep going on. And then we basically jump right into some rewards. So there's a $15 add-on, which is 3 new characters, 12 new cards. Keep going. Expansion. So they're already talking about expansions, which is interesting. Fistful of Extras expansion. Starting with our first stretch goal, backers will unlock content that will go into the into the Fistful of Extras expansion. This will be free to all backers of the Sheriff level or higher, so that's cool. The Gambler add-on. So just a standard 52 card deck of playing cards based on the poker cards from Western Legends, featuring stunning art illustration. So it's just a deck of playing cards, but with art from the game. It's a $9 add-on if that's something you want. So that's interesting. They got how to play, and now this is pretty important for tabletop. I haven't got into the cost of the rewards yet, but usually tabletop has a little bit of a higher price point. So it is kind of nice in this case to have a how to play kind of video to check things out, and they're even offering a download option for you to check out their rule book so that you have an idea if this is something for you. Here's the items and poker cards, the Man in Black 2-player variant. So they're really showcasing a lot of the game. So if you're really worried about is this going to be enough, say that you like tabletop but you're not sure if it makes enough sense, if the rules have been worked out enough, or maybe you just like Western themed stuff, but you don't know if the game is your kind of game. They have a lot of options here to check it out, and I definitely suggest doing that. Normally, I do not suggest sending people off Kickstarter to check that out, but this is a pretty crucial thing in this case for tabletop, because you can really showcase your game, and this game looks fairly complete and done, and they're ready to ship. So it's nice that they can do this. Here's the word around town, basically from other people. So you can get to see some basic testimonials, which is nice. So you got a review here, a man versus meeple. The decision in the fighting and using the cards is really cool. The combinations of the cards you get into your hand, along with the items you can collect, allows you to define your strategy significantly. This game knocks it out of the park. It so accomplishes what it sets out to do. I love the story system. This is a brilliant way to create interesting, thematic, story-driven, legendary moments. So this is just a gameplay run-through, which is nice. And here's some final thoughts. The fact that Western Legends incorporates real American Wild West heroes and heroines ups the ante and easily makes this one of my most anticipated games of 2018. Derek Funkhauser. So that was something I was on the fence about, and they're saying that it actually really helps. And then we got a few more testimonials, which is nice. And then we talk about what you get. And these are the rewards in greater detail here. Goals and rewards. So these are the stretch goals by the looks of it. Captured, fully funded, thank you. Extras, captured. They're just crushing it right now. It'll be interesting to see if they haven't got something here. Continue to go. Everything is just crushing it. They don't have the dollar amount, so it's hard to say. They're upgrading card stock. You're getting different expansions. You're getting different goals. You're getting more story cards. So that's the next thing here. So we're at the wanted section. So finally, Fistful of Extras expansion, 4 story cards. And then we got to hit the 275 level. And then Peacekeeper item card, 290. Fugitive replaces 1 robber and Desperado, $305,000. And there's more to come. So they've thought a little bit about their rewards, which is nice. It's cool to see that they've thought that far ahead and they can implement that, especially with a game that is so close to completion, or nearly completed, or completed. Many exciting rewards lie beyond the horizon. Namely, backers will unlock Fistful of Extras expansion, which their pledges will not only help build, but they will be included with their pledge at the Sheriff and Legend levels. The expansion will not be in the initial retail release of the game. So, flavor text contest. These are social goals, or both capture. So, social goal, if you don't know what that is if you're trying to do something with Facebook followers or Twitter followers or number of backers, just to get the word out there. And sometimes it'll allow you to unlock different things in the campaign for everybody. So why back? It kicks off the Colossal Games catalog. See if I can find out something major here that's worthwhile. Basically, Travis Chance, founder of Action Phase Game. He's an expert at Kickstarter, funding every game he brought to the platform. So he's got some different criteria or resume kind of building stuff there, which is nice. Game is highly detailed hand sculpted miniature from Pure Arts, which is nice. Great illustrations. Fully committed to Kickstarter pledges before the game is available in retail. So that's nice. So this is a hard thing to do for some backers and to deal with, and for some creators to get that timing right. They get their project funded. It's about to come to market. It's always best to reward the Kickstarter backers first than it is to bring to the market. Otherwise, somebody that didn't help bring it to life gets it. So he's committed to doing that, which is nice. All materials and components for the game were completed upon launch. So all the files will be uploaded to our manufacturing partner within 1 week of the end of the campaign. That's very cool. So I'll be interested to see where those rewards lie, which is nice. So this is explaining the Kickstarter process and shipping. So you got different shipping costs, add-on a pledge manager. You can do basically stuff. So we got different these are different pieces of art that you can use for yourself. Risks and challenges. Well, it is the first Kickstarter from Colossal Games. Our team has years of experience with publishing games. We have an impeccable track record, successfully delivering Kickstarter projects to thousands of supporters, in a timely fashion, if not sooner. That said, there are always complexities, considerations of projects of this scope that may cause delays. There are many steps in the process of manufacturing, fulfilling game, which involve partnerships. Through careful and thorough planning, common mistakes can be avoided. However, possible delays occur from circumstances beyond our control. So basically, there's nothing that he can really point out, or that they can really point out, except for saying, sometimes some things go wrong. Greatest obstacle is simply the funding capital to manufacture such an ambitious product of the highest quality capable. So basically, they just need to have enough money to do it. And clearly, I think they're doing okay. They're going after 60,000, and now they're at 275. Let's take a look at the rewards. First, let's just count them off. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rewards. It's a great number. We don't have a $1 pledge. We have 9 or more. Looking to play some poker. This is reward level for you. Backing at the higher level, this will also be offered as an add-on. So basically, this is a 52 card poker deck. You can play anywhere in the world. It just basically has that awesome art that's on it. If you like it, if you think it's awesome, I like it. $60 pour la version française. This is the French translation of it. Okay, let's go over here. $60. Sheriff, 1 copy of the Kickstarter edition of Western Legends and the Stretch Goal expansion. When this reward is selected, you will see shipping costs for your location. Okay, 297 backers there. You get the core game plus a fistful of extra expansions, all unlock stretch goals. So that's not bad. $60 and you get all of that. Pledge 75 or more. Legendary. 1 copy of the Kickstarter edition of Western Legends plus the stretch goal expansion and the add-on expansion. So you get the core game, Fistful of Extras expansion, and the stretch goals, and the good, the bad, and the handsome expansion. So there's 2 expansions there. There's almost 1,900 backers, 1851. And then you get the French version of that. So there must be a French tie-in here, or that market is big enough for them to consider. All in $84. So we got 1 copy of the Kickstarter edition plus the stretch goal, the add-on, and the poker deck. So it's basically $75 plus the $9. There's actually no price break whatsoever. They've just created a separate amount for that. And then you get the all-in $84. So really, let's take out the French versions. We got 1 French one, 2, and 3. So they really only have 4 options. They have the Gambler, which is just basically the deck of cards. They have the $60 core set. They have the Legendary, and then they have the all-in. So it's pick your flavor that you want. And that's pretty smart. I like it when it's very focused, very easy to understand. It's not this plus this, but not this. This makes it really easy to follow. Let's take a look at the frequently asked questions. Pledge reward level states that 250 backers are needed for French translation to be made available. How exactly does that work? What happens if we do not reach 250 backers? Have you considered the suggestions made in the reviews? Will there be a solo version of the game? Will there be a mini for each character? What languages will be available? Do you have a retail pledge? What size are the miniatures? Will you be using a pledge manager? I can't afford to pledge now, but I don't want to miss out. What can I do? I plan to sleeve Western Legends. How many cards are in the game? What sizes are there? So sleeve means just putting the cards in plastic protectors. So it's nice that this is actually filled out. We've done a lot of episodes now on Backed or Busted where this whole section, the frequently asked questions, has not been filled out whatsoever. So whether this has been done organically as they arise or whether it was done in advance, it's nice to see that it's there because these are some really good questions. Flip over the updates. It was launched January 9th, a good day to launch it. We're funded, plus the first 2 stretch goals are down, so that didn't take long for that to happen. Past the 100K mark, which is nice. On the same day, you wrestled up some more stretch goals. The very next day, same day, more stretch goals have been unlocked. 2 days later, you went prospecting for gold, and the campaign is over 200,000 here. How exactly do I use Board Game Geek? More updates going on there. Buffalo Bill Cody joins the fracas. So it looks like it's stretch goals stuff review, updated stretch goals, a new video review, the good, the bad, the handsome information. So they're pretty committed here to keeping everybody kind of in the loop, which is nice. So lots of back and forth. 1 super backer, 2 super backers, a lot of creator discussion. Nice. They have over almost 700 comments, which is very good. Let's check out the community. They have 3248 backers, 168 new backers, which is always really nice to see. They have over 3,000 returning backers. Very much a U.S.-driven campaign. Well, maybe not very much. They have 3,200 backers, so only half, really, is from the U.S. Everywhere else is from around the world. So if you're considering a tabletop, look at that number right there. You have the right kind of game. And this is interesting because it's a game in the Wild West, which is something definitively American. It can't really apply to too many other countries. So there must be something that speaks about this company, the track record, the game itself, the campaign, that has a lot of international appeal to it. That I would say over half the campaign or close to half the campaign is as interested as the U.S. Top cities is actually London in the U.K. Top cities, we don't get to L.A., the first American city here, until 30. Which is, less than half of our top city here. And we got a couple Canadian cities right around there, Montreal and Toronto, Melbourne, Australia, Paris, France. So that's really cool. I'm going to jump over to Kick Track here, see what we can find about Western Legends. Let's jump in. Okay, so they are actually trending towards a colossal $785,000. They still have a long way to go. But what I like so much right now is that this curve looks so natural and smooth. There isn't big spikes and jumps and dips and anything like that. You can see they got all these stretch goals in here. And look, hey, we've got actual press down here. Not too many of our campaigns that we've looked at on Backed or Busted also have press, so that's very nice to see. Good job on them really populating this stuff, and you can see where it's coming from: Cardboard Republic, Druid City Games, Katie's Game Corner. That's great. Good job there, guys. And of course, we've got some tags populated here too. Another first on Backed or Busted so far. I like that. Okay, so we got pledges per day. Average per day, they're bringing in $39,000. My goodness, that's great. They have an average of 463 backers per day and an average of almost 100 comments per day. So this is a very busy campaign. Good for them. They're really crushing. On the low end, they're projected to do $539,000 based on their current days. That's going to be a little high because they've done so well so early on. This is probably going to top out around 400 maybe, depending on what they introduce in terms of stretch goals if they keep going. The last stretch goal that we looked at was at 300,000, so that's the kind of momentum you need to keep going. Either way, they're clearly successful. The trend, again, is very smooth. So this is going to come down, and it'll probably, like I said, meet maybe around 400,000, maybe 500,000, somewhere in there. Just some really good work here. So let's go over it again and see if we can make up our minds if this is backed, worth backing, or if this campaign is completely busted. Some things I'd like to do differently about this video. It would have been great to have some voiceover. I get a real good actor to just put that Western slant on it and explain what's going on. I mean, it's fine. It works the way it is. You've just got to read it, and I think it would have just polished it up just a little bit more to have some nice voiceover acting going on there. The pledges are great. I think the French ones are a little strange. I'm confused about why that's included. There must be some sort of French connection to what's going on here. It eludes me at this point in time, but c'est la vie. That was a pun since I said that in French. Yeah, it wasn't as funny as I hoped either. The campaign is pretty good. Having the historical characters not mentioned in the video, I think, is a mistake. I think you should really lead with that. This art is nice. It's not too big, but you can still see what's going on. And I think it's really important in a tabletop game that you get to see as much as you can that's included in the box. I really like this map. That would have been a really cool kind of piece of wallpaper that they could have done and sent out. Those are the expansions, and again, the how to play when it comes to tabletops is good. These testimonials, I think, should be up front, though. I think that would be one thing that I would do. Don't take our word for it. Bring them up here. At least have one strong quote here. Maybe pick your best piece of press and put it here instead of the description right up, just so that they can see that there is support from, maybe Katie's Game Corner or whatever it was, Cardboard Cafe. That might help lure people right away. If they like the video, like, oh, that's cool, and then they see like a really prominent site, say, yep, this is a good one. That would help a lot. But officially, yeah, I think that this project is worth backing, and I'm going to become a backer. Okay, there you have it. I backed it for a whopping $13 because I really want that deck of cards, if you couldn't tell. As I was going through that campaign, I really like that a lot. The game is just a little bit out of my price range for me. It is a cool looking game, and I definitely encourage you to do it. And I like it enough that I'm willing to put $13 down just for that deck of cards because of the art style alone. And I hope that the game is cool. I hope that it hits retail, and maybe I'll be able to check it out then. If you have a campaign that you want me to check out, highlight, or you need some help with some consulting, hey, hit me up at crowdfundingspectacular99@gmail.com. Be happy to help you out. I've helped a ton of campaigns out since we've done this. I think we're only 7 or 8 episodes deep now, and it's nice to see people that need a little bit of help. Doesn't take a lot of time from me, doesn't take a lot of time from you, but it definitely makes you a little bit more money for that dream project to come to reality. All right, folks, my name is Rob McCallum, aka Rob McZob. We'll see you next time.